YouTube, make sure y'all like, comment, and sub to the channel. I appreciate all the love, chat. We are at 1,200 subs, chat. I appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow all my socials. Most importantly, follow me on Twitch. You can also follow me on Twitter, TikTok, all that good shit. But make sure you follow me on Twitch and give some subs, man, because I'm trying to make it out. But let's get to the video. After 5 years, Nike finally caught them. Damn, Cool Kicks. This shit is crazy, Cool Kicks. Speaking of Cool Kicks, I just bought some Rick Owens. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rick Owens. I wore the Travis Scotts today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get to the video, man.
Almost a year, something strange was happening inside the sneaker world. Federal agents were showing up everywhere.
12 people face federal charges now, accused of stealing.
Wait, $2 million in Nike products stolen from Memphis warehouse? Wait, I remember this though. I definitely remember this.
More than $2 million in Nike
I remember this happening, bro.
products from the company's North American Logistics Center right here in Memphis.
Federal prosecutors say this went on for at least 4 years, totaling nearly $2 million.
Was the other co-owner of Cool Kicks that was taken into custody by LAPD.
Including 40-year-old Keith Cannon, who owned Valid Kicks.
Project Blitz, Cool Kicks, warehouses filled with thousands of sneakers, search warrants, evidence boxes, and phones being held outside storefronts trying to figure out what was happening. But nobody seemed to know the answer.
That boy got some heat in the background, boy. You see the goddamn blue Miss Foes? I remember I had those my sophomore year in high school. I had these my sophomore year in high school, bro. I really want to get another pair of these, but they gonna end up crumbling, and I don't have time for that.
There were plenty of rumors about counterfeit sneakers, money laundering, tax fraud, stuff like that. But law enforcement and the government stayed completely silent. No interviews, no...
If you ever bought some shoes from Cool Kicks, I got bad news for you, bro. It's so crazy because all of these famous people was pulling up the Cool Kicks and shit. Like, bro, oh my God.
Detailed press conferences, just a series of raids that at the time seemed to be a little bit unrelated. That's how it looked from the outside looking in. While the sneaker community
This nigga a fraud.
was trying to guess what happened,
Look at this fraud, bro. Look at, he's a fraud, chat. He is a fraud, chat.
federal investigators were allegedly putting together a case that had been going for years. And according to a federal indictment that just got released this month, I think we have answers to everything we need to know. The story didn't begin with Cool Kicks or Project Blitz or even California. It all began in a warehouse that was nearly 2,000 miles away. Nike's North American Logistics Center that was located in Memphis, Tennessee. Every single day, this building moves thousands of Nike products across the United States. If you've ever bought a pair of Jordans or Nike Dunks or anything of that nature, there's a good chance that it goes through this warehouse first. This is essentially the beating heart of Nike's entire supply chain. Products arrive in this warehouse from around the world. They get sorted, packed, labeled, loaded into trucks, and then shipped to retailers across the country, like Foot Locker or Champs or wherever you buy your shoes from. And on paper, it's one of the most efficient logistics systems in the entire world. Every package has a barcode, every carton has a destination, and every movement is seemingly tracked. And every shipment has one small detail that tells the entire system where to go, and that's a shipping label. And according to federal prosecutors, that tiny piece of paper would allegedly become the key to one of the biggest sneaker theft conspiracies in recent history. And the more investigators looked into this case, the more they realized that it wasn't just a traditional cargo theft. Nobody was cutting locks or hijacking the trucks or breaking into the warehouse in the middle of the night. The operation allegedly relied on something a lot more simple, and that was the shipping process itself. Imagine you go online and order a pair of Jordans from Nike or the website. The order gets processed, Nike packs the shipment, and a shipping label is printed. And that label tells UPS exactly where the package belongs, as long as the label is correct. Now imagine somebody quietly replaces that label before the package ever leaves the building. The box is still scanned, and it still gets loaded into the truck, and UPS delivers it. But the only difference is the destination. And according to the indictment, this is what investigators believe exactly happened. So whenever there's a hype Jordan release, like let's just say, for example, the Jordan 4 for brick by bricks, somebody in the warehouse would locate what boxes were filled with these sneakers that were going to be shipped out to Foot Locker or Champs or wherever. And when loading these up onto the UPS trucks to be shipped out to these stores, somebody would slap a label over the top of the one that was already on there. And this new UPS label would then ship it to a different location that wasn't the intended store. And this was addresses that investigators say had already been chosen by members of this conspiracy. And from that point on, the package would follow the new label. But changing the label
I'm not gonna lie, that's smart as fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
was only half the job. And that's because a shipping label sitting on somebody's desk in Los Angeles can't move a single package inside the warehouse in Memphis. So somebody had to sneak those labels inside. And according to federal prosecutors, this is where it became an inside job at the Nike warehouse. And court documents allege that one of these organizers was Roy Harvey Jr. And he is seen to be one of the masterminds behind this whole operation. And like a year ago when Project Blitz got raided, it was because of Roy Harvey Jr. He had been seen delivering or using some of these packages around the Project Blitz warehouse, and that's what got him raided. But according to this indictment, investigators allege that he created these shipping labels and arranged the delivery locations and coordinated where those redirected shipments would ultimately end up. Because Harvey wasn't a Nike employee and he couldn't just walk into the warehouse. According to the prosecutors, somebody else on the inside was handling how the labels got on the packages. And the indictment identifies a man named Michael Perkins. He was a floor manager.
He was from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Oh my God, he from the Silk. He from the hometown, the home state. Oh my God.
Inside Nike's Memphis Logistics Center. And Perkins allegedly would smuggle these shipping labels inside of the Nike warehouse where he would give them to other Nike employees. And prosecutors allege that these employees would place the labels onto specific cartons before they entered Nike's normal shipping process.
The first mistake, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, bro. I love Memphis, bro, and I love the people from Memphis, bro. The first mistake is putting a Nike warehouse in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you know how much go on in Memphis, bro? Like, I love Memphis, bro. And bro, these folks crazy as in Memphis, bro. Man.
And like I previously said, nothing on these packages looked abnormal. The packages continued out of the warehouse just like they would on any other day. And that's what made this operation so hard to detect. And this wasn't something that happened just once or twice. Courts allege that between 2022 and 2024, 1,860 fraudulent shipping labels tied to Roy Harvey Jr. was operated successfully through this whole process. And just to mention, this isn't 1,800 pairs, this is 1,860 boxes that are filled with multiple pairs. Whenever a shoe comes out, sometimes a sneaker reseller will have an entire full-size run. They'll have hundreds or 200, 300 pairs of a shoe that's like just came out. Or also in the sneaker world, there's like early pairs. You'll see people have multiple pairs of shoes before they come out, like months before they come out. But what happened after the shoes left Memphis was almost a little more surprising. And investigators didn't follow the shipping labels, they followed the shoes. And that's where this story takes kind of an unexpected turn. And you have to remember, all of this is happening in private. This was before they decided to raid anybody or make any sort of like public thing about this. So by this point, investigators believed that they understood how the shoes were leaving the warehouse. But that only answered half of the mystery. Somebody has to receive it, somebody has to pay for it, and eventually somebody has to sell it. So investigators started following these sneakers and shipments. Now, according to these court documents and stuff, it doesn't really say how they were able to identify this. Some people say that they put trackers like inside the shoes or inside the boxes. Some people said that they like went over their inventory lists, or I don't know how they did it. I wish I had this answer because that'd probably make this video a little bit more interesting, but I don't know how they tracked down these shoes from the Memphis warehouse to what I'm about to say. So instead of these boxes of sneakers showing up at retailers like Champs, Foot Locker, maybe a Nike store, these boxes of hundreds of pairs of Jordans would go into an undisclosed location, and they would essentially just be dropped off by UPS. So after these shoes were being unpacked, they were being sold at sneaker conventions, sneaker stores, and other sneaker websites. And some of these pairs were just placed into a warehouse or the backs of stores to be sold in eventually. And like I said previously, if you have some of these shoes that don't release for 4 months and you have like 100 or 200 pairs, that looks really suspicious. So in some cases, they would just keep these shoes until like a week or two after they released and they were hot and everybody wanted them, and then they'd be began like flipping them. So I'm assuming that's where some of these shoes would end up in like warehouses and stuff. But investigators started looking into resale businesses, and the further they followed these shipments, the more these certain names kept popping up. One of them being Chicago Emporium, which is a large Chicago resale business. Another one being Whorehead Investments. And then there was one name that stood out above all the others, and that name was Cool Kicks. And if you've been around sneaker culture for like the past decade, you know who Cool Kicks is. Cool Kicks wasn't a small reseller operating out of like a storage unit. It was one of the biggest sneaker stores in America. NBA players, rappers, celebrities, all these people bought shoes from there in Los Angeles. And their videos reached millions of people on the daily. And for a lot of sneakerheads, Cool Kicks represented the top of the resale world. They were definitely one of the most popular sneaker resale stores and YouTube channels in this entire business. So a lot of people think that it's just a deal that owns it, the guy that's mainly on the face of the channel. But there's another man named Barakat Abraham, and he also goes by BK. But in these legal documents, he is accused of playing a role in the early stages of this conspiracy. The prosecutors allege that between July 2021 and May 2022, Roy Harvey, which is the mastermind of this, he received 149 shipping labels that were associated with the Cool Kicks store. And that allegation matters because those labels were allegedly used before Harvey began creating labels through his own company, which was RHJ Global. Which, in other words, prosecutors believe that this whole scheme was evolving over time. It didn't begin as like this huge, massive like operation. It started with just like a few people. And when the money entered the picture, things get more serious. But according to the indictment, between April and November 2023, Cool Kicks allegedly sent approximately $127,000 to a man named Keith Cannon, who was also mentioned in these documents for this whole scheme. On top of that, they had allegedly sent another $88,275 to Roy Harvey Jr., who was the mastermind. But before we jump to conclusions, those numbers don't prove any guilt. Some people say that Cool Kicks was just buying shoes from this person and they didn't know that they were stolen from Nike. And I'll leave it up to you guys in your own research to figure that out. But when reading the legal documents, there was some more evidence that kind of stood out. In September,
Man, they know what the was going on. They was jugging and finessing, man. Hey, the money was too good. I feel like they was making so much money off that shit. They just couldn't stop, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I come up like that and I get some money like that in my pocket, I wouldn't do nothing. Let me stop, bro, because I'd be too scared to do some shit like this. But I'm just saying, though, if I was a criminal, bro, I probably would have stopped at like $100K, $200K. I would have stopped. I'm just saying.
September 2022, Roy Harvey allegedly
that's
asked
just
the
me,
co-owner of Cool
Niggas
Kicks
be
to
money
create
hungry.
fake invoices. And the prosecutors alleged that these invoices would make it appear that these shipments were legitimate. And this would allow these packages that may have gotten held up in UPS to then be released. So on the off chance, if these sneakers are being transported from the Nike facility to these undisclosed locations, if or when these packages got held up, you would have to provide something that says that you bought these shoes before they would be released. And that's where these fake invoices would come about, basically saying like, hey, I paid Roy Lee, this guy, X amount of money, like he's delivering these shoes to me because I bought them. But in reality, they were all coming from the Nike warehouse, and stolen. But
That's some smart shit, bro. I was always saying, bro, there's no such thing as a smart criminal, because I mean, you can't be a smart criminal if you get arrested. But this was very, very smart, for real. Like, this was some smart shit, bro.
this is just a conspiracy. This is not proven fact. I'm just simply telling the story how it is. Also, according to the indictment, Chicago Emporium was allegedly purchasing large quantities of shoes connected to this operation as well. Federal prosecutors allege that Joel DeLuna, I think is the owner of Chicago Emporium, he negotiated with Harvey to receive unreleased Nike products. Meanwhile, another Los Angeles retailer, Whorehead Investments, he allegedly also sent nearly $700,000 in wire transfers connecting to this government's investigation. So everybody that I just named were resellers that were allegedly sending money to Roy Harvey to get these shoes so that they could flip them themselves or sell them in their store. And piece by piece, shipment by shipment, and payment by payment, what first looked like a warehouse theft was beginning to look like something that was much, much larger. The prosecutors believed that they had just uncovered an alleged distribution network stretching from the floors of Nike's warehouse in Memphis all the way to some of the biggest sneaker resale businesses.
So this is okay. So the cool Kick was tied to the warehouse in Memphis, bro. 2021, between 2021 and 2024. Bro. Damn, they ran up $2 million, bro.
In the world. But if these investigators spent years following these shipments and following the labels and following the money, what finally caused this whole operation to fall apart? Well, for years, according to the federal investigations, the operation kept working. Shipments continued to leave Memphis, labels continued to change destinations, and businesses continued buying inventory. And remember, all of this was done in secrecy. They were spending a while trying to figure this out and piece this together before they began just raiding and arresting everybody. But from the outside, nothing looked different. Nike was still shipping shoes, UPS was still delivering them, and the resale market was still growing. And when it comes to a resale store, when customers walk in and buy a pair of shoes, they don't know where they came from before the store. Like I said, these are resale stores. They buy them from people and resell them because they're hype shoes. So the customer has no idea of knowing where these were previously before the resale store. And investigators were quietly piecing together things that didn't seem related at first. A shipping label here, a payment there, phone records, wire transfers, delivery addresses. On their own, none of those told the full story. But together, the prosecutors were able to form like a pattern. And then one moment changed everything. In January of 2024, Roy Harvey was arrested in Los Angeles. And this was when the popular sneaker resale warehouse and platform Project Blitz got raided. And
Paranormans.
For those who don't know, Project Blitz, they're huge. They have a YouTube channel and they've even been on like Pawn Stars. They make videos pretty much showing off some of the rarest sneakers that you can possibly buy in the world. But supposedly, after they gathered this evidence, they arrested him with 28 cartons of stolen Nike products that were connected to this whole conspiracy. And that is why Project Blitz got raided, because somehow, some way, he was delivering shoes to Project Blitz. But the Project Blitz story is an entire video on its own and all the controversy that comes with that. But this was one of the first moments that investigators could say that they could physically connect redirected shipments to somebody in this operation. And that was Roy Harvey. But this arrest didn't stop the investigation. They went through Harvey's phone, his financial records, and they found connections that led to new leads. Investigators weren't just looking backwards anymore, they were starting to connect the pieces on this whole map. After the mastermind of this whole thing got put away in jail, now the business is still going. That means somebody's still doing this and people are still buying this from Nike. And that's when they realized this whole operation wasn't just centered around one person, it was an entire team. And it was 12 people to be exact. And so the investigators, they kept going. They kept reviewing financial records, they kept interviewing witnesses, and the case kept expanding. And this was when everybody started to get raided. Like I said before, the Project Blitz store got raided, and then the Cool Kicks store also got raided while on live stream. This became like a huge viral moment. Like they were selling shoes on a live, the police busted in, and then there's all these clips of them getting arrested. Everybody thought this was because they were selling counterfeit shoes, and that's not at all the case.
I thought that too. I thought they were selling fake shoes too, bro. So they wasn't selling counterfeit kicks, bro. So like, what did they do with the rest of the kicks though? Like, are they still for sale?
Well, as there was clips online that showed a house.
Like, are they giving them away for free? Because I just say some Oregon 7s. Like, what? Can I get those for free? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, California PD, can I get some of those shoes?
That got raided that was completely full from like top to bottom with Nike shoes. And on top of all this, the Chicago warehouse that was Chicago Emporium also got raided. When all of this was happening, nobody really knew why. Like I said, everybody speculated counterfeit shoes and everybody was
that's what I thought.
Cool Kicks saying that they sold like fake shoes, and that's not true. As well as Project Blitz, they got bashed everywhere for this, but in reality, they probably just bought a few pairs of shoes that were stolen that they didn't know about. But regardless, all these business reputations got cooked. But in July of this year, a federal grand jury returned a sweeping indictment charging 12 people with offenses including conspiracy, interstate transportation of stolen property, and wire fraud. And of these 12 names that were in this were Roy Harvey Jr., BK from Cool Kicks, the Chicago Emporium guy, Perkins. You guys can look at the list yourself. But for the sneaker community, this was the first time that these allegations were made public. And suddenly, all those raids, all those rumors, and all those unanswered questions, they finally had context just this month. But this story isn't just about Cool Kicks or one warehouse. It's about something much bigger. It's about how an industry built on hype and scarcity created one of the most...
Bro. The Freddy Krueger dunks? Oh, no, these SBs. Bro, oh my god, bro. Can I have those for free, Cool Kicks? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man.
Perfect environments for an operation like this to exist for years. But like I said, everything in this video is just alleged, and everybody in this case is innocent until proven guilty. I'm simply just stating what was in these documents. I'll pop it up on the screen right here. Cool Kicks actually made a statement about this and their co-owner and what's going on with them. I'll let you guys read that on your own. But in my opinion, the most surprising part about all this isn't the whole like illegal scheme. It's about what happens to the sneakers. You see these $2 million worth of shoes, thousands of pairs that were stolen. Where did they go? Well, the answer is they went into the resale market. These are authentic Nike shoes, and they were sold to customers that had no idea where they came from. You see like a stolen car, for example. The car has like a VIN number on it, and so if you get caught with the car, you get arrested. It's whatever.
Somebody had to be telling, bro. Nike didn't even know this shit. Like, Nike didn't know shit because Nike made so much money. They didn't know what was going on. Bro, somebody had to be telling, bro.
Sneakers, there is almost no way.
Who the fuck was snitching, bro? Like, you know what? I'm kind of glad, though. No, let me stop, bro. Because I love sneakers, bro. Like, ain't nothing like a free pair of real sneakers, bro. Like, bro.
To identify the history or where the shoes came from, other than just like a receipt or a word
look at the Air Yeezy. You got the Air Yeezy samples right there.
Other than just like a receipt or a word of mouth type of thing. But platforms like StockX, GOAT, eBay, and certain resale stores were all selling shoes that were stolen from Nike.
I got the you see the OVO Ace right there?
All selling
oh my god.
Shoes that were stolen from Nike.
Both of them.
They didn't know it. As well as all the stores that were not involved in this scheme that bought the shoes just because they wanted to flip them. Like, for example, if I had 30 pairs of these shoes that were stolen from Nike and I sold them to somebody else and they sold them to somebody else, and like, you get what I'm saying? It's hard to track all these down. So there was plenty of people in this whole scheme that were selling shoes that were stolen that they didn't even know it. And that's what makes this case so much different. It wasn't counterfeit fake shoes. It was real authentic Nike products that were just being circulated everywhere.
Oh my god.
And the sneaker community spent months trying to figure out why all these people got raided, and it seems like now we finally have some answers. And that's for you to decide. Once again, I'm just telling the story. I'm not taking sides with anybody. But the answer to this entire mystery was sitting on the box the entire time from the very beginning, and it was just a shipping label. And also one of the most elaborate schemes I think I've ever heard in sneaker history. And that pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one took a lot of research and a lot of putting this stuff together. To be honest with you, I've been putting this video together for like, I would say like a month now. Like, before all of this news broke public, like I knew some things, and I did my own research and stuff like that. And I've been working on kind of piecing this all together for a very long time. And some of the videos on my channel that are like the most high performing videos are the videos I've made on like Cool Kicks and this whole like sneaker scandal thing to begin with. So I felt like it's only right. And once again, I just want to clarify this for like the 100th time. Like, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just telling the story. I'm not siding with anybody, and I'm not saying anybody is guilty. That is for the courts to decide and you guys to make up on your own, whether you agree with this or you don't. Or
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I might sound crazy, but Freedom Boys, bro.
Who you side with, that's completely up to you.
Freedom Boys, bro. Freedom Boys till it's backwards, man. I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to tell the story. Everything in this is alleged. And I also believe that everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But this is one of the most insane stories I've ever heard, and it's actually very, very smart of like how they pieced all the—
Hey, shout out to Cool Kicks though. Hey, man. Shout out to Cool Kicks. Cool Kicks, shout out to Cool Kicks, man. They just got some free money off my stupid ass. Damn, bro, that's crazy as
stuff together. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the
I gotta sub the
notification
bro
bell so you get notified every time I post, as well as follow me on
that boy got the
Instagram
blue Miss
right
Foles
here.
in the
I try to post
background.
on
He got some heat back there. He got the off Norse, blue Miss. These the unions. He got the grapes, white Smiths. I think, are those the A-My Manier? I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Bread Force. He got some heat back there.
pretty much every day. All the videos that aren't
got some
long
heat
enough to
back
make
there.
a full YouTube video, I post as a short on my Instagram. So if you like my videos and you want some, I don't know, more variety, it's on my Instagram. And that being said, I want to thank you guys for the support over this past few months. It's been amazing. I love you guys like so much. You guys have changed my life, really. And yeah, that being said, we'll
196K
see you
subs.
guys in the next video. Peace.
W video. Oh my God, Cool Kick. Hey, Freedom Boys, man. Hey, Freedom Boys. Freedom Boys, they got locked up in Memphis too, man. Freedom Boys, man. Garbage ass nigga, man. Freedom niggas in Memphis, man. Free all them boys. Them niggas was making a killing, bro. Bro, the first mistake they made was putting that in Memphis, boy. They gotta know. And then Cool Kids was behind it the whole time, bro. Them niggas all the way in Cali making a killing, boy.
Put that bitch down here.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna show y'all the thing too. Get that bitch to the house.
Man, listen, bro. All this money, bro. You know what's crazy, bro? We probably got some kicks in our closet right now that they jugged our ass for. No cap. You ever think of like, bro, $2 million, bro? Bro, we gotta have some kicks in our closet from Cool Kicks, bro. From the warehouse and everything. You know, JD get his shipment from Nike, bro. You know they get his shipment from the warehouse. That's what I'm saying. Them folks made a killing, boy.